Did you know that we have our very own brewery where we make our very own beer that you can buy at any of our Sage locations? And more crazy than that, we have our own farm and we grow the hops that are in that beer every year that we use all year long. We grow citrus and other herbs that go into our beers. We have the most unique and interesting chef-driven flavors in our beers where we grow all of that stuff here on our beautiful farm in Fillmore, California, including the hops. And I do think that we are one of the only hop yards in California. Welcome to Sage, welcome to our brewery, and welcome to our farm.
My name is Kim, and I'm head brewer at Sage Brews. We're out here right now at Soa Heart Farms, which is owned by Molly Englehart and Elias Sosa of Sage. And it's an 18-acre regenerative organic farm. The most exciting part for me is that there's an 1.5 acre hop yard, and that's where we are right now. This is our Cascade variety. We're here today at our Echo Park location. This was actually our very first Sage location that opened in 2011. And then in 2017, we had an expansion that led to doubling in our size and also adding a brewery, making us Echo Park's very first brew pub. Beer typically consists of 4 main ingredients. You got your water, which is the majority base of your beer, and you can use temperature, pH, and filtration. You've got your malt, which is whatever grains you're putting into the beer that gives it its color, a lot of its flavor, and provides the sugars that will then later be turned into alcohol. You've got your hops, which is where we are now, out in the hop yard, and these will flower, and those little flowers provide a lot of the bitterness for the beer. These are the ones that are most associated with beer is hops and the different varieties they come in. And the 4th ingredient is yeast, arguably the most important because the yeast are little microorganisms that eat up the sugars in the wort, which is the beer before it's beer, and turns that into alcohol and CO2. This is where all the Sage Brews beer, kombucha, seltzer, and cola is brewed. We brew everything up here and then send it down to our 8-barrel fermenters, so we're typically doing double batches. This is our mash tun where the grain is steeped. And then it will run over to our kettle. And that's where it's boiled for sanitization. Hops are added, any other fun add-ins, before it goes downstairs to our heat exchanger and goes into the fermenter where we pitch the yeast and it turns into alcohol. A lot of Sage Brews are like a fun take on classic beers. And the reason for that is we want to follow in suit like the restaurants do, where we are focusing on organic, local ingredients. And a lot of those come right from here at Soa Heart Farm.
Here we are on Soa Heart Farm, getting ready for the beginning of hop season. This is the Cascade variety, and it's really the only variety that we have that's doing great in our climate here in Southern California. So if you want to grow hops in Southern California, I highly recommend Cascade. This is the most prolific of all of our hop varieties. We could not be happier with it. This is very exciting. The hops are getting papery and fragrant and ready to go. And great hops make great beer, and we are super committed to great beer and great hops here on Soa Heart Farm.
I feel really fortunate that I often get to come out and help with harvesting them, or I walk through the farm at least once a month with Molly to talk to her about the ingredients. And from there, that's where a lot of our rotational beers are born. When a guest gets to try a Sage Brews, they're getting to experience small batch, brewing with the seasons, and sourcing really locally. And that's really what sets Sage Brews apart. As a brewer, I feel super fortunate that I get to be so hands-on with the ingredients I then put into beer. That's really rare, and it is truly farm to glass.
Thank you for your interest in the beer that we are making. And if you want to have that beer for yourself, you can order it at any of our restaurants, and you can also buy it at Cafe Gratitude and Gracias Madre.